Thank you for clicking on this video. Enjoy!
So like, we're getting near-ish endgame. The Twilight Flood, Chapter 19, Remnants, 27th of the Astral Moon. Oh yeah, welcome in. Start day. How's your day though, overall, Chapuis? Did you teach today? Catalog? I don't know what that means, but sure. Oh, no wait, I know what that means. Jade, welcome back. Was your quest successful? When I have ever failed? Well, you do look surprisingly unbloodied. Also, hello, Kumo. Kumo? Who's Kumo? That guy. You've been listening obsessively to the new Lady Gaga song? Oh, she has a new song? I wasn't aware. All I know is that she appeared on the, I think the Grammys it was, and she's been advocating for us, as she usually does. That guy. New name, I'm guessing? No names here, never had a name. Don't even know what names are. The song dropped during the Grammys? Got it. I only somewhat saw her kind of speaking on social media, and that she was protecting trans rights as usual, or just everyone's rights in general, as usual. She's a good bean. Am I supposed to just go along with that? You're supposed to make me a drink. Then we can talk. Fair enough. What can I get you? I've still got plans after this, but Onyx is pretty tired. So give me something that'll get her to keep up with my speed if I let her have a sip. Anything for Onyx. So are you saying I need to have more Lady Gaga songs, Chapuis? You want Speedy McSpeeder? So that means a swift strike. Have you played this game, Shadow, if you're still around? 1, 2, 3. You want intelligence, or whatever the frick that is called, and then defense. Swift strike. Bing. My voice has been on the fritz today. A drink for Onyx and you, but mostly Onyx. Not too bad, considering to see you know me so well. Being a regular does have its perks. So, names? Let's start with the story first. You love those, right? You know it. I'll spare you the details of my journey to Borkham. Though I didn't miss a chance to make some extra money along the way. Everyone thought I was the right woman for their jobs. They helped me with the quest too. Squeeze a good description of the renegade parents out of some Red Dune merchant, who was in deep dispute with a blue-crowned elephant. I'd love to hear that story, actually. Not my problem. Asking a couple of pointed questions got me to the inn the deadbeats were staring at. Problem with people is, can't exactly kill them in the broad daylight. With monsters, you'd be thanked for doing so. But with people, you've got to be patient. So, I did what anyone would have done in my situation. I posed as a tour guide. Oh my god. Of course. And they believed you? Sure did. Iniko was right. Your drinks are great for pulling scams. Happy to hear that. I'll offer them a tour of the nearby Wadden Sea. Oh my god. I kind of love that we went the charming instead of killing a route with this one. And led them to an area I knew was shunned by actual tour guides because of the unpredictable tides. Gave them a spiel about how a battle of the Order of Starlight took place there, yada yada yada. Pretty soon their eyes were glued to some starfish playing in the mud. It was the perfect opportunity to get it over with quickly. Obviously I wasn't going to kill them just then. They needed a chance to run, but I had to scare them first. I raised my spear above my head and was about to go for a warning strike when I heard this zinging sound. I deflected the knife that was flung my way at the last second and shattered against the ground. All three of us turned and saw this cloaked Echo reaching for another knife. He had his hood pulled up, knives and daggers strapped all over his body. Even the air seemed to go darker around him. Looked like a real Shadowbane. I trained under them. Impressive. Those deadbeats thought I was protecting them from him. Should have seen the look on their faces when I said I was there to kill them. I turned back, wanting to refocus on my warning strike, when I was interrupted by a simple stop. It was said in this deep, raspy, incredibly fake voice that sounded like some sort of proper degenerate. Ouch. Likely the two bums thought we were fighting about who'd get to kill them. Their approach to such a situation was to immediately try and bribe us. I told them to shut it. They asked me what I wanted then, if it wasn't money or words. So I turned to our little Shadowbane and asked what he wanted. But he just stood there, quietly. Can't blame him. There's little scarier than your parents. So you helped him with the decision? Not exactly. I walked over to him and handed him my spear. She said, "This is your choice. Make it." It felt like she was passing some of her courage on to me. He stepped forward, my spear in his hand, and took off his hood. He was... I'll spare you the details. They recognized him, of course. Fuckers had the audacity to act surprised. Surprised is one way to put it. When they talked, they sounded so like they thought I had died. You could have. They left you. I wanted to say something. Anything. Yell. Tell them to get lost. Scream at them for what they've done to me. But all that came out was, "Why did you leave?" Their silence went on for so long. Would have been longer if those tides hadn't come rushing in. You did kind of walk into that one. Kind of. Luckily, I was quick. Got all of us up on some muddy rock that the waves couldn't reach. How long were you up there for? A couple of hours. Left us a lot of time to talk. Did you? Yes. A lot. For example, did you know the primordial flood was caused by the pyre erupting? The pyre? You mean the biggest volcano in all of Esteria, or nestled right in Leviathan's domain? Thank you everyone for being here, I love you! Yeah, apparently it erupted and then collapsed, covered all of the primordial sea in ash and set off a tsunami. It should not be doing that. No. Do you think powerful magic was afoot? Probably not. What use is a giant tsunami to anyone? Maybe they wanted to be wet? Probably not. Are tsunamis and their causes all you and your parents talked about? No. Mostly we talked about the leaving thing. They said not a day went by where they didn't regret what they'd done. I asked why didn't they come back then. They didn't have an answer for that. Mom said she was proud of my knife-throwing skills, though. I never thought they'd apologize. They owned up to all of it, as awful as it was. I hadn't planned for that. They wanted to make up for everything and be part of my life. They also said it was up to me and what I wanted. What do you want? A family. Is that stupid? No, it's not. So you forgave them? No, not yet. I have to see if they actually mean what they said first. I can't trust them right now. We don't really know each other anymore. Who knows if we'll get along? That is so true. We've talked about this a lot on the channel, just generally. Oftentimes, chosen family, in my opinion, can oftentimes be better than blood family. And as you grow up, sure, your parents still influence you, or your family still influence you in general, but oftentimes you're more influenced by society, which is why a lot of, I guess, people like myself within the LGBT sometimes take so long to accept ourselves, especially in this, especially right now, hateful world. So, yeah. But they did say they want to get to know me, and I think I might like that too. They're just so different. And that's another thing too, is that as you're older, your values change and your morals change as well, necessarily from what your parents taught you, depending on how you were raised and stuff along those lines. And even just common interests diverge very differently because everyone's their own person, right? So we all have our different interests and stuff. So I get that. I completely get that. The feeling that your family's very different. It feels like I'm angry at people that don't exist anymore. You're still allowed to be angry. Even if they change, they hurt you. Neither forgiveness nor forgetting is required. It just feels unfair, like I'm harboring resentment for ghosts. But I'll try to be honest with them. I owe that to myself. Plus, Jade threatened to decapitate them if they ever hurt me again. They'd stand no chance. None. Could I have a drink now too? Sure, let's trade. Right. A secret? No, a name. I assume Jade didn't know you as Kumo because your parents didn't call you that. Correct. What did they call you then? I don't... not... I'll trade you my name, just give the guy a drink. Your first name? Those are quite precious to Maida, right? Very. See it as a secret to trade for. I'm listening. Ulyssia. A beautiful name. I don't respond to flattery, but thank you. It's definitely better than mine. Yours fits you. It does not. If you say so. So, not Ulyssia, what would you like in exchange? Maybe something that'll stop me from choking on my words. In case I have to do more of this emotional thing. I love Kumo so much. I love all the characters in this game, honestly. They're all super amazing in their own way. And getting to explore all their stories has been really great. I've definitely got something for that. Ads in 5 minutes. I apologize in advance. You will want a Swift Strike. No, not a Swift Strike. A Charming, which is 1,000 wins. This one. And then you're gonna want to be more charming, so 1 and 2. And then you want 2 defense. 1,000 wins. Here you are, some fluid emotional vulnerability. It tastes a lot better than it sounds. Feels a lot better too. Maybe. I still need to call you something else though, if Kumo is out. It is. What have you got for me then? Oh my god, he's changing his name again. My lord have mercy. I love him. Alright, let me go over here. Let me get his list of names that he's had so far over time. Okay, found the list of names. Let me copy paste that here. Add Kumo to the list of used names. Oh wait, what's going on? And note down his new name. I don't... I'm running out of names. Jade, can I... Nope, my name. Fine, how about... Dave? Oh my god, I love him so much. I love him so much. Oh my god. You edgy boy, you. You know what? Sure, I'll go with that. I'm proud of you, Dave. For everything you've gone through, and for choosing what's right for you. Thank you. Do you need a hug? May have already gotten one from Jade. Speaking of me, I've got to go. Want to check in with Grace and her goons. See you around, Airboy. See you around, Ulysia. Alright, let's go read Jade's probably last entry. Yeah. Turns out she went no contact with her family a while ago. Although she's surprisingly good at solving disputes others have with their parents, I also received the honor of learning her first name. And it fits her very well. And the irritable turtle's name is Onyx. Might in naming schemes, you know? See you around, Ulysia. What about you? Care to linger a little longer? I need some time to think all this over. Maybe even feel it, too. Is Fable back yet? I think Cheesecake would make for a great distraction right about now. No, I thought maybe you ran into them on the way back. I didn't. So Millie isn't back yet either? No, I'm afraid not. Cool. Great. I guess I'll talk to... Carolyn? Your parents? Maybe. Do you think they still love me? I don't know. I hope they do. I hope they'll love you well, but I don't know. I do know that other people love you, and if your parents fail to live up to what you deserve, you won't be loved any less. I'd like to believe that. Sometimes I just think, if even my own parents could leave me, anyone can. Don't measure your worth by the actions of people that hurt you. Nothing good can come from that. I'm very thankful to have met you. Anyway, I'm also part of the night, or whatever. So I must go. Farewell. See you soon. Oh, that was the end of the day already. Dang, okay. That was quick. Apparently there's 3 main endings. I didn't check any of the endings or how you got to them or anything like that. But apparently there's 3 main endings to this game. Act 3 to Twilight Flood. Chapter 20. Chaos Protocol. 30th of the Astral Moon. Millie! Innkeeper, surprise! Nice to see you're back. Is Fable with you? No, should they be? They were looking for you. They aren't a very good detective then. I'm happy to see you're well, Millie. Everyone was worried about you. Why? I'm great at taking care of myself. You are, but where have you been all this time? Investigating things, obviously, like the flood. My investigation led me to Morlia. Or more like, they did. Nico, Voy, and X, I followed them to Morlia. They were talking about mysteries and puzzles, and I'm trying to solve a mystery, so... I couldn't let the opportunity pass me by. You're lucky. People usually pay a lot of money to spend time with me. Why? Because I'm, like, famous? But I didn't go there because of you. I was following clues. Okay. I stayed outside. My case isn't about a wizard. Not this time. Where's X anyway? You know, doing wizard things. Like studying? Yeah, it's giving depression, to be honest. He immediately wanted to check out the spells we found, though he seemed pretty disheartened. How come? Not sure. I guess he didn't find what he was looking for. Maybe because the world's greatest treasure was already traveling with him. Oh boy. What would that be? He's gonna say myself, obviously. Me? Never mind. Sorry about the ads. Thank you for sticking around. Did you grab anything to eat or drink? Also, I feel like we should have had a random... It is on. Why is it not going? That's odd. Yeah, if I press play, it works. Okay. I guess it just hadn't happened yet. Whatever, it's fine. So, I implemented something new, as you guys can all see. I know a lot of people have like a question of the day or a question of the week or that kind of thing. And I'm a lazy butt, so I didn't really want to have to change it daily or weekly because honestly, I would forget. So I randomized like 200 questions, and every so often we'll get a question. So the question right now is, how did your parents meet? As for my parents, long story short, my mother is born in Quebec, and when she was 7, they moved back to New Brunswick after her parents split. She came with her mom, and my mom and dad went to school together. So that's basically how they met. So they're basically childhood sweethearts, if you want to put it that way. Which is funny too, because my mom's sister also married within the same friend group. So basically the friend group kind of all just kind of married each other, which is kind of funny. Me? Never mind. He told us to keep an eye out for any time magic razzle-dazzle. But we found nothing. At least you managed to get inside and return safely. Yeah, the way there was easy peasy. We got there thanks to Nico pulling off a shape-shifting trick and pretending to be a merchant. Stole some guy's coat and face and used his reputation to secure us a boat to Morlia. Oh my god, the chaos of these characters, I love it. He's a changeling, isn't he? I'm trying to remember. Or at least a shape changer. Yeah, changeling. So he can take anyone's appearance, basically. Said I wanted to meet with the real estate agent from the Magocracy to buy the island. I told them to pick us up in a week or so. By then we'd be far gone. What happened once you reached the island? A burning tower happened. What? It was an accident. It was fun. It was like fireworks. He must have stored some magnesiums? Maganisms in the attic? Smart of you to give X some fire resistance, else that son of a gun would have gone up in flames. Let's start at the beginning. Fireballs taste better with a dramatic setup. True. You're right, I should have eaten the fireball. That's not... Inspiring as use, Voyo, thanks. Before you continue, I'm kind of thirsty. Could I have a drink? Something that tastes like smartness and wisdom. Gotcha. Alright, you're gonna want smorts, which will be the sun towel? Yeah. Something that gives smarts, while also giving that. Yeah, this one will still work. So we want 2 more smarts. 1, 2, and Oh, that went too far, didn't it? Yeah, that went too far. Darn it! Alright. Undo. Have some drink. There we go. Now we can fix. There we go. Silent owl. This is great! You're really good at picking up clues! Okay, so picture this. We got to Morlia, an island so small it's basically the tower's wild backyard. As I walk between the crystalline roses, I expected to see secret passageways hiding behind every corner. I almost brought you back a rose. Why didn't you? Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. I wouldn't fit in my tavern. Nico said the same thing anyway. The tower itself reached so high, I thought it might be reaching out to kiss the moon itself. It was really tilted at about 5-degree angle. I measured it with my paws. The bricks were so wet, I'm sure the tsunami shook its foundation. We'd think the waves would have done us a favor and knocked the tower down the door, but nope. And we all know that every adventuring party's worst nightmare is a freaking door. That locked door was the first challenge. Yes! Iniko's lockpick broke. Seemed like a skill issue. Oh my god, I love this so much. It makes me think of like D&D or any tabletop game that you play. Critical failures are the boons of everyone's day. And it tends to happen on non-action or non-combat situations like doors for some reason. Broke? Skill issue? Bro, the door ate my lockpicks. Oh, a door mimic. A classic first step to securing your establishment. You talk like you've seen one before. Have you ever tried to open my door when the inn's closed? No? If you do, don't use any lockpicks and take care of your fingertips. So, how did you get inside? Brute force. Together, we were able to pull the door up enough to break it off its hinges. Together? You didn't really do much of anything, man. Just told us you can do it, guys, while hiding behind a bush. It worked, didn't it? Anyways, they crashed through and landed on their faces. Swoosh! An axe flew past our heads. Cursed traps! I walked in after them and immediately slipped on the wet floor. But no show is ever lost due to a faux pas. It merely makes you more sympathetic to the audience. Except for the lock. I believe I lost its sympathy completely. Should have played it a song instead. Maybe next time, Voyo. After Hex figured out how to time getting past that swinging axe, we explored the tower. It was so much taller and bigger on the inside. Like a pocket dimension, so freaking cool. Except the tower can't really fit in your pockets. But X walked ahead. Guy was really distracted. He didn't even listen to my poem about the symbiotic relationship between axe and door. For a long time, we didn't encounter anything. Just a long hallway, no doors, only a bunch of strange paintings on the walls. Of course, most hallways can't go on forever, so eventually we reached a staircase. After what felt like 5.5 minutes. Eternity. Meanwhile, I was outside investigating the flora and fauna. Everything was very, very peculiar, like it was all from another world. The colors were different, very blue, and almost spectral. And there were a lot of spiderwebs or yarn. Not sure which. Suddenly, the ground shook and almost knocked me off my feet. Who could have guessed there were pressure plates on those stairs? When I stood up on my tiptoes, cut off a golden cord that would have made for a great belt. I stepped on a pressure plate and triggered an explosion and... clonk! The whole staircase began crumbling down into a pit of nothingness. Bit by bit, starting from the bottom. I rushed upwards to safety, away from the weird wizard abyss. but X stumbled backwards as the ground gave way beneath him. I grabbed his hand just before he fell, but I'm not as strong as I look. My muscles, along with the courage in my heart, were failing us. Suddenly, I felt a pull on my collar, and someone dragged us up the stairs, away from our certain doom. You know, I was thinking about what else might have been waiting up there. And going at it alone, I could have gotten lost. Thank you for saving us, Nico. No problem, boy. Don't get used to it. Didn't you expect a trap like that? After all, a great wizard would want to protect their treasure. I guess we were a little distracted by all the gold hanging from the walls. Their staircase ended in a wondrous library that spiraled endlessly higher around the tower's inside walls. We lost X at the bottom in the first row of books. A lot of them were drenched. Didn't seem like the tower was waterproof. There was still primordial water dripping from somewhere above. We couldn't make out the ceiling, tried to reach it though. The second story of Spiral Staircase Library had 3 paths leading away. Each path ended in a door, and all 3 doors were closed and marked with runes or painting or rusty old locks. I called for X and like 10 minutes went by without a response. So we started looking around, but there were just books and spell scrolls. Don't forget about the scroll in the class cabinet. That one looked fun. I knew X was looking for spells, so I called him again. As soon as I mentioned an oddly floating scroll, he came sprinting upwards, staring at the glass case. He already had another scroll tucked into his coat. Honestly, I wasn't expecting him to be carrying half the library at this. I was expecting him to be carrying half the library at that point, but I guess that would have been too heavy for him. Of course, the stupid glass case was also a puzzle. Had no lock, no lid, no nothing, just a glass in a gold frame. The scroll itself was growing a promising blue. I suggested breaking the glass. X gave me his finest death glare. So he investigated the puzzle himself. While they were doing boring side quests, I made sure to stuff my pockets. Found a jewel silver paperweight shaped like a bird. That'll make for a great blunt weapon. X was too scared we'd destroy the scroll by triggering another contraption, so he suggested we look around in the adjacent rooms. The riddle doors. Riddle doors that X quickly figured out. Sure, a few books got burnt, but it was nothing compared to what could have happened. I still don't get what he was talking about. Me neither, to be honest, but we aren't the brains of the operation, so there's this feel if you guys want to catch it. Speak for yourself, pretty boy. I think the puzzle had to do with some of the books in the library, and pulling them in the right order or something to unlock the compartments. That held the passwords to get into the rooms. And we had to do that for each door. It was so lame. It was kind of exciting, seeing X hop up and down the stairs looking for the right books. First password was password. The second password was passwords past the password. And the third one was passwords past the password's password. You wish, but no. It was 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's what Sir Lost It Wizard made us skim the whole library for. One of the rooms was a nano alchemy lab, another one was a study full of crazy inventions and books, and the third one was a gym. A gym? Yep. As soon as we had opened all the doors, the whole tower began to shake and rumble again. I believe now it's your turn to tell the story, Millie. Of course! Snooping through the garden, I found a weirdly shaped stone. It was glistening in the sunlight and caught my attention. I picked it up to investigate it further, and sort of didn't see the rope attached to it. As if I had pulled on some hidden support beam, the whole tower began to rumble. Carefully, I put the shiny stone back, but nothing changed. Metal Kid, how are you? Welcome
Set up.
in. How are you doing today? We gotta find time to Rocket League again together someday. Someday, hopefully. But how are you doing
Bench.
tonight? Or this afternoon for you, I suppose.
Ooh.
Right. It's hot. It is summer over there, so that makes sense. How hot is it? I feel like I would die, because I hate heat. Or at least that kind of heat I hate anyways. Alright, gonna take a sip of water while you answer that. Excuse me. Your aircon died, so it's 30, but your house is insulated for winter, so it's keeping it. Oh, gross. I know how that feels. Because our issue is that in recent years, like when I was a kid, we only ever got 20 Celsius with maybe a little bit of humidity. So maybe it was getting to maybe 25. But our summers right now have been like 30°C plus humidity, and then the humidity stays in the house, which makes the house even warmer. So I know what you mean. I know what you mean. That tower kept rumbling like it was awakening from a deep slumber. You made us think we screwed up the riddle. Technically, we can't prove a correlation. You could have very well screwed up. Ew, yeah. Very ew, I agree. Doesn't matter who screwed what up. Mishaps make for better stories. I think. The whole tower started turning on its own axis and the bricks were grinding against each other. But how are things over in Australia? Finally something thrilling. It was as though all the traps were activated at the same time. Like a scalded cat, Hex rushed into the wizard's study to grab as many papers as he could. The bookshelves in the library leaned forward and unhinged from the walls as they crashed downwards into the abyss, revealing a dark void behind them. Got some training in for your event thing next month? What event? They're good. How's Canada and things? Well, I'm sure you've heard about the shitstorm that's going down south. And some of that shitstorm is reaching up here, so it's great. Things are great. We love it. That's sarcasm. I promise. Nightmarish creatures started crawling out of the void. They looked like bats made of stone. The terror stuff. Essentially economic warfare. Yeah. Essentially economic warfare, and unfortunately, our conservatives, I like to call them mini Trumps. Right now, especially their leader. So if we're not careful in the election that's gonna be coming this week, this year, the federal election that's gonna be coming this year, we could end up in the same kind of boat as the US. Yay! F the South, I agree. Though, what Trump is doing out down south is kind of a wake-up call for the Canadians. I don't think I've ever seen Canada so united in a very, very long time. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. They reminded me of my auntie's place. We tried to fight them off, but there were too many, even for me. The tower had turned into a living machine, trying its hardest to get rid of us. This doesn't look like D&D. The storytelling is very much like D&D, Strix. We were just talking about a door that they couldn't open until they started actually banging on the door, and it turned out it was a mimic door because it ate the lockpicks. It's great. Because I do get that some people don't mind not going on those nights. And Strix, if you're still around, we are finally talking about fireballs. And he cast a fireball right at the monsters in front of us. Obviously, the library caught fire and the ensuing shockwaves sent us tumbling backwards. I knocked over a vial of shimmering liquid that I had set aside to taste test. With no windows in the room, we were trapped inside while the fire closed in on us. I felt the heat licking my skin and singeing my hair, and then... I should have said, "Oh no, I need to help my pet dragon because he's more interested than you," and then played Spyro. True. I agree to that statement, chicken. That red shimmering liquid that I knocked over caught fire as well. It started building up pressure in the room like an overloaded valve. It was only a matter of time until we'd explode into pieces. Max screamed something to me about playing a note, the clearest one I'd ever played. I was confused. Thought he'd already succumbed to the fumes, but then Iniko reminded me, "Ethereal bamboo!" So I took out my A-gum and put my finger to the strings. With the physical pressure of an explosion combined with the mental pressure of having to do it right, he was darn nervous. Yep. Hex tried to keep the fire away from us, but it didn't react to any of his spells. It was straight up consuming them. So I took a page out of Volboy's book and started yelling encouraging words at him. You weren't too bad at ish. So they almost died. It still took me 3 tries to hit the right note and rip open a portal to the ethereal weave. It was insane. Suddenly time stood still. Everything was frozen over by an odd, spectral blue shimmer. Like the one on the plants. This was like 3 years ago and I didn't have Spyro, but I see what you're getting at. Of course you do. Just as we heard the sizzle of an impending explosion, we were pulled into the rift I had just created. Whoosh! And we were swirling in a sea of blues and whites. Time was going very slowly, or not at all. We jumped off the tower. No walls could stop us anymore. Or so we thought, until one collapsed on top of us. Everything turned dark. We woke on the north side of the island. Smoke was rising into the sky. The tower was in shambles. Oh, it sure was. After I put the stone back, it all happened so fast. The tower coiled around itself and started ascending into the sky. When suddenly, 3 explosions rattled the building. Boom! The tower was obliterated to pieces. Blue and white lights flying into the air. Somewhere in the distance, 3 silhouettes fell from the sky. I snuck up to them and saw Iniko, X, and Voy lying in the sand. If a date goes bad, you gotta drop a sick one-liner before you go, but you do it for you. Yes. It was great to have a friendly face to be the first thing we saw. Should have been our cue to relax, but my man X was committed to finding anything he could in the ashes. Didn't even say hello to me. And guess what he found? Time to lurk. Sounds good, Aster. Thank you for popping in. I really do appreciate it. Have a good night. Lots of love and kisses. That crazy Ridley class case. Not one scratch on it. The scroll was still floating in there in perfect serenity. Max took it. He said he'd figure out how to open it while we were back on the mainland. Couldn't really rescue much else of value. Except this peculiar little trinket. Thought it'd fit in your tavern. Ooh, cute. It's like a little snow globe type of thing? I honestly have no clue what it is. Looks like it's an orrery to me. The frick is an orrery? Be right back, Googling! Orrery is a mechanical model of the solar system that illustrates or predicts the relative positions and motions of the planets and moons. Kind of funny how it says that, since we were literally talking about star signs earlier for like an hour and a half. So if anyone watching from YouTube, I apologize that you don't necessarily get that reference. All you did was say thank you for the meal and left, then went home and took a nap. I'm not as cool IRL as I am online. If anything, you're probably cooler IRL. I don't know what you're talking about. Lurking playing Zelda? Which one? Which one, Zilla? If you guys have not checked out Zilla, please do. What kind of berry? An orrery. They show different realms and how they're intertwined with each other. A link to the past. Nice. That's what it is. Preem. Some gears seem to be missing though. Also, I have no clue which realms it's supposed to represent. Well, it's yours now. Cope. Thanks. Other than that, the spell scroll in X's pocket made it out alive too. Lucky nerd. He was so disappointed, said he needed to take a breather. I continued investigating the traces in the sand, and a new set of footprints had appeared. Facto, how are you? If you guys have not checked out Facto, please do. Facto is amazing. Playing Dead by Daylight, Hollow Knight, The Quarry as well, I believe.
3,000
so like a whole bunch of games lately, so please check out Facto. Facto is amazing.
Whoa, whoa.
Please and thank you.
What just happened? What just happened? I can't.
Excuse me. As well as some Souls-like games, now that I remember. I thought perhaps a wizard had returned, but then I heard hushed voices. Someone's talking to X. Huh? Interesting. Did you travel as a group of 4 after all? I mean, 5? Nah. When I peeked around a tree, I saw Hex sitting by the shore, gazing into the far into the horizon, all by himself. Maybe it was just my imagination after all? When X finally graced us with his presence again, I was roasting marshmallows over the fire. They weren't the only thing that was fire. But you're making less sense than me. Voice trying to flirt. It's okay. The marshmallows were delicious. But all the treasure was gone, except for what we had in our pockets. Though, figuring out that my Agam could do that was the biggest treasure of the day. Yeah, that was so cool. Chicken! Chicken! Wow. Oh my god. That does sound very cool. Out of curiosity, how did you manage to get back? Jade saved us. Oh. We tried to recruit her, but the party pooper didn't have time. But she decided to follow up after her other quest was done. Bummer there wasn't any loot to share, but hey, at least we had a ride back. I'm sorry to hear that you didn't get what you wanted. No crying! You're wanted, Ko! I promise! You're wanted here. I mean, Nico and I had fun, I just think Hex was disappointed. He'll be okay. He's smart, he'll figure out whatever spell he needed from the wizard himself. I'm sure he will. Though, do you think the Mago Crusty will be upset we destroyed that very valuable treasure house? Dunno, don't care. What a story! I can't wait to share it with Archie. I'll be on my way now. We didn't have all of Voi's details. Let's go check out Voi. Apparently, his Agam has also doubles as a magical teleportation. Let's try that again. Apparently, his Agam also doubles as a magical teleportation device, and it can open the ethereal reef. Luckily, he's safe as long as he plays the right notes. Slowly but steadily is getting over his stage fright, learning how to use his skills. I hope Grace and I can get tickets to his next concert. But thank you everyone for hanging out. I really, really appreciate it. I'll be on my way now. Gotta check up on X and make sure he didn't accidentally take a book mimic home. You coming with, Nico? Sure thing. So long, innkeep. Goodbye, innkeeper. Don't miss me too much. I'll try not to. More information on X2. He even explored an abandoned wizard tower to look for lost or maybe forbidden spells. According to his accomplices, he was rather fixated on inspecting every piece of loot, as if he was looking for something particular. A spell to protect his sister, maybe? He is. Now it's just you and me, innkeeper. Indeed. I'm glad you're back. You're making it sound like I was lost or kidnapped. I was just investigating. Without telling anyone. I don't need to tell anyone where I'm going. People care about you, Millie. They get worried if they don't know where you are. Oh. I'm not used to that. But I care about people too, like you. That's good to hear. Chicken's just mad you could speedrun better than him. Aww. Alright, my feet are starting to hurt, so we'll switch and get my chair real quick. Hit me right where it hurts your gamer skills. Oh my lord. I love you too. Keep being awesome. Oh. Melly. Hi, Aura. Hi, Dave. Oh, that name is so outdated. You're back. I am. Did you miss me? Did I was just very worried. What? You called me Millie. What about it? You've never done that before. I'm sure I have. You even said you'd never call me Millie. But you're angrily tapping on your Xbox like a... Oh my god, you two. Who went live? Cool Cat. Been a while since Cool Cat has been live. I'm just glad you're back. Welcome back to my tavern, Dave. That's a cute one. Yeah, I got it on my latest quest. Dave, you made a good choice. I also went on a quest. Not only do you wound me, but you've stricken me down. Strix! Well, at first I wanted to find the moon swamps. You know, the mysterious magical swamp that is said to be magically hidden and only appears in foggy but starry nights. I'd heard that it's somewhere in the moon swamp near the portal to the Twilight Chasm. And did you find anything? No, I did find some weird way markers made of bones that seem to lead somewhere. And they had "Do Not Touch" written on them, and the paint seemed fresh, so it looked like the perfect clue. But then, suddenly, there were just gallons of water everywhere. Luckily, I got away quick, and since I was already there, as Fizua's best detective, it was my duty to discover the flood's origin. Which is crazy for someone on a PS4 who can't figure out how to make a jump in a game from the... Oh my god. You two are crazy. Well, at first I was more of a stowaway than a detective. I couldn't figure out what... Don't storm off like that ever again, you understand? I was so worried, and no one knew anything about your whereabouts. Now. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled at you like that. Both of you, my god. It's just, I haven't cared about anyone in so long. And with you and Fable both suddenly gone, I didn't know what to do. I thought you didn't care. After you went away, even though I asked you to be there to be more careful, I thought maybe you didn't want to be my trusty assistant after all. So I went to investigate alone. I'm sorry for leaving. It's alright. I'm used to people leaving and not coming back. I do care, Melly. I'm just kind of new to this whole honesty thing. I'm kind of new to this whole empathy thing. Yeah, I figured. What the heck is going on in chat? If you'd like, I could fix you a drink to help you find your words again. Don't know if I'm up for trading another secret in exchange. It's on me today. You've got enough to worry about. So, let me see what I can do for you. Thousand wins. Enjoy your magical liquid eloquence. It doesn't taste half bad. This might actually help. So, your quest? Jade said you were stranded on Morlia? Yep, I followed 3 very suspicious-looking fellows and somehow ended up on that island. Why do I always run into wizards and magic when I'm out on adventures? And traps. Magical traps everywhere. Sounds very dangerous. A detective's always seeking thrills. I'll make sure to be careful, I promise. It's not about that. I know you know how to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you wouldn't have solved the T-Rex case. But don't keep putting your own life at risk in exchange for a quick adventure. Jade told me the whole wizard tower burned down. It wasn't me, I promise. I didn't do anything. All I'm saying is, don't disappear again. Oops, I'm out of frame. Slightly out of frame. There we go. Don't disappear again. Please. You're not alone anymore. You don't have to do everything all by yourself. Like you're one to talk? Ah, the both of you. What the heck? I swear to God. To be fair, Dave's got a point. Even though they're guilty themselves, both of you are. But you two have also made a lot of progress already. And I'm glad both of you have made it back safely. Heard anything from Fable yet? No, not yet. What about Carolyn? She came back after the flood. Currently she's investigating some undead sightings in the Pale Woods. Do you know when she'll be back? No, but the two of you can wait here for her if you want. Yes, please. I want to stay until Carolyn gets back. Alright, I'll keep you company. How about I spice up your wait with another drink? I'll pass. Oh, but I'd like one, please. Of course. Do you want anything specific? That whole adventure was pretty exhausting. Maybe something to combat my mental tiredness. Nothing easier than that. Probably some more smarts. Yeah. But I will... Good enough. 1 and 2. And then 3 fights probably. Yep. Silent Owl. But thank you everyone for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. Let's see if this will make you wake up again. Oh, thank you! This is delicious! I can feel my synapses connecting. You know, that I've had time to think about it. I think I forgot why X was so bummed out about the loot. Care to share your insight with us? But of course! He has a younger sister, right? Which always struck me as odd. She looks so much older than him. So what if she just ages faster than he does? And he expected to find some very special loot in that wizard tower, but he didn't find it. So what if he was looking for something to extend her life? Like a scroll of immortality? What a foolish idea. Hey! Not you, X. Even if it's tempting, those are powers that no one should interfere with. I agree. What if she turns into a zombie? I've had enough of them. Definitely. We should tell him when we see him again. Or maybe we should tell it to Caroline when she returns. She seems to be experienced in dealing with the undead. You think it'll be a long time before she gets back? I don't know. Could be very soon, but it could also take a few more days. You've had a long day. Aren't you tired, Millie? No. I'm not tired at all. Let's wait for a little longer. Maybe she'll show up and fable with her. Sounds good. Did she fall asleep? Yeah. Maybe I should bring her home and wrap this up for tonight. That's a good idea. You should get some rest as well. I'll let you know if I hear anything about Caroline or Fable. Alright. There's not much for me to do otherwise. Except care for Millie. She needs you.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
I did not speak to you. Shush. Need you a man like Dave, right? Yeah, I think you might be right. Good night, Dave. You know... forget about it. See ya. Millie is already a source of inspiration for a certain writer, maybe because she seems so independent, though her latest adventure has taught her that she can't do everything alone. It's good to see that she allows herself to be a child again after everything, and I couldn't be more proud. What the hell did I just read? Chicken, please. See ya. That's another day done. And that's probably where we'll call it for this. Both days were fairly short, but I don't want to risk it. So we'll switch to something else. We shall switch to something else for the remainder of the evening. So give me a...
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing and commenting down below.